afternoon and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, IMAC Med Spa, and Comfort Keepers in Home Care. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Thomas Polucki,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our guest this afternoon is my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Isn't that amazing?
It's a sorry state of affairs, but we're going to make the best of it. Today, we're going to be talking about something you're uniquely qualified to talk about, Barb, and that is the unique health challenges that seniors face. Let's face it, we're all going to have some additional aches and pains as we get older. But too many people, are, let's just say, drink the Kool-Aid. And
Kool-Aid?
Yeah, that there's only one answer to that, and that's more and more medication for every single problem out there. And we know that taking painkillers can get people in trouble real fast.
Oh, very fast.
So, that there, and I don't want to be this, of course he's going to say that. He's not a real doctor. I would
disagree with that.
Well, thank you. But just to let the audience know, I have roughly twice as much education as pretty much any medical doctor out there. I've taught at 2 universities. I've been in practice for 30 years, more than 30 years. I'm one of 12 advanced certified technical instructors at the university teaching level on the planet. So when I say something, it's not just my opinion. I have to be able to back up anything I say, especially in this day and age. Living in California, I have to be able to go into any courtroom and prove it, right? So we know that drugs work. But the definition of work is what can get people in trouble, because there is a time and a place for emergency medicine. There always will be. And we have the most amazing emergency service medical system on the planet by far. There's no question about that. However, translating into the general health of the population of the United States is not a direct equation. In fact, we do a horrible job at keeping our population healthy, and especially our senior population, right? So I'd like to spend today talking about some of the things that directly relate to staying as healthy as possible as a senior for as long as possible. And the side effect of staying healthy, and the reason that you won't necessarily hear this information in most forms of media, the side effect of staying healthy is that you need less and less medication. And if you can't sell the medication, then you don't buy the ad time, then you don't get on air for the most part. And unless you're in a situation like we have here, which is very unique, where we actually have some airwaves, some bandwidth to talk about things that really matter to people, especially when it comes to their health. And outside of this forum, it's not very commonly out there.
No, that's very true. And the fact that we are the senior hour makes it more purposeful for you to talk about senior and senior health.
Absolutely. So we know that there are going to be more aches and pains. There's going to be more arthritis, but
Tell me about it.
The most common form of arthritis is abnormal wear and tear on the joints. That's the most common one. And here's the interesting thing. Yes, it hurts, but just taking some pill to make that pain go away doesn't do anything to stop the problem. The real problem from deforming your joints and breaking them down and causing even more pain. So we see that the more medication people take, it actually kind of backfires in the long run. People have not only more pain, but they have complications from that, usually in the digestive system, sometimes in the immune system, in your case, as you know, sometimes in the cardiovascular system, an increased risk of heart attack and stroke and cancer, as you are here to testify.
Yes. And in many cases, medication is a contributing factor for cancer. That's why I got it.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that at the time I was.
Well, they did. They just didn't tell you.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah. So but more commonly, those are worst case scenarios, and they happen way too frequently. But more commonly, people have digestive problem from taking medication, and then they have to take medication. And I experienced this firsthand in my teens, where I was on medications to treat the complications from the medications that I was on. And then I was very lucky to find a different approach very early on. I was testing for medical school when I was a teenager. In 10th grade, Johns Hopkins was testing me to go to medical school straight out of high school. But at the same time, I had a few problems, and I'm not going to spend any time on this, that I wound up in a chiropractor's office. And within the first year of treatment, I was off all my lifelong medications. And I realized, how come I never heard anything about this anywhere? I have been in one kind of doctor's office at least once a month my entire life, and nobody ever even mentioned the word, right? And it's a little different out there today because, there's an overwhelming amount of information available on the internet, but most of that is the most sensational stuff, and it's usually not accurate, and it's usually not in the most positive light, and sometimes it's just insane, crazy stuff.
That's true. And, speaking of chiropractic, there are different forms of chiropractic.
Yes.
The one I used to have.
Yeah.
I hated.
Right.
Because it was the twisting and the turning and the jerking and it was horrible, absolutely horrible. And I was so afraid that I'm going to fall off this table, in the twisting and turning. But you do a different type of chiropractic.
I do.
Which is much more comfortable, at least for me, and I'm sure for your clients, because they're still with you.
Thank you. So yes, all I can say about that is the thing that I believe keeps most people away from chiropractic, and that's 8 out of 10 people won't go to a chiropractor, and partially because the media, but partially because they don't want to get twisted or crunched or cracked or have some kind of jerking, jolting experience every time they go there, no matter how charismatic the salesperson might be about it.
Right. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. So that being said, because some people like that, God bless them. I'm not here to judge. Yes. Some people like that, but 8 out of 10 don't. And that's not why I do things the way I do. I do things the way I do because the kind of chiropractic that I do is what totally transformed my life. From a literally incurable neurological disease that required 5 prescription medications for my entire life was essentially gone within a year. So that's why I focus on the kind of chiropractic that I do, because as far as I can tell, That other kind of chiropractic that you don't like doesn't ever produce that result.
Well, I realized that, but I don't know of anybody else who does.
Right.
Because most people go to regular chiropractors.
Right.
And I don't consider you a, quote, regular chiropractor.
Well, thank you. I'm not.
You're not.
And you know, I can't defend what I don't do. I can just demonstrate what I do and how it helps people and focus on that. And that's, I believe, all we can really do.
Well, I think you add nutrition into your treatment.
That's part of it for sure.
That's a big part of it.
Nutrition and supplements.
Yes, and supplements that aren't opioids.
Yeah, well, opioids are not supplements, Barb.
No, they're
opioids are drugs.
I know,
so.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't offer, quote, drugs.
Right. No, we don't offer no quotes. We don't offer drugs, period.
No, yours are supplements.
Yeah.
Healthy supplements.
Yeah.
Because I take yours.
Yeah. And it seems to be working. What birthday is this coming?
Yes. I'm sorry.
What birthday is coming up?
87.
All right.
87. Good heavens above.
So we want to talk about how to stay active and healthy and contribute. You know, at least once a month, we have the senior center come in and other charities whenever possible, because you're in this community, active in this community in the 9th decade of life, coming on the 10th decade of life. And I believe that part of that is your contribution, your ability to go out and be involved in the community and participate in these things that help many other people.
Yes, well, I'm not able to do as much now anymore.
I understand.
And from, a health standpoint.
Right.
I no longer have the run energy anymore.
I got you.
I do have energy.
But you did beat cancer twice.
Yes, I did. And if I get it again, I'll beat it again.
So let's focus on that. Let's focus on, what you're doing right, because it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you were given a medication that gave you cancer. It's not your fault. And I don't blame the doctors. I just think you should explore every possibility before you just accept what the drug manufacturer tells you to give your patients.
Well, that may be so, but, the doctors I went to prescribed that medication.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much was known that it could cause cancer.
Yeah.
But
I don't either. I don't know, but I do know a very interesting movie. I think it's still on the air. I'm not sure. It was on Netflix. It's called Painkiller, about the whole OxyContin thing and the family, the company that just totally broke all the rules to sell more drugs and literally get whole towns, and in some cases nearly whole states, addicted to narcotics, essentially. And that was their prime motivation from day one. And they borrowed, begged, bribed, stole, and coerced and corrupted anybody in their path to make sure that happened. And it's still going on to some extent.
Yes, it is.
And
yes, it is.
When that is possible, it will happen.
That's true.
If a politician can be bought and there is a vote on the table, things are going to happen. The interesting show about that movie is called Painkiller. I hope it's still on Netflix. Is that the whole thing was going to be exposed? It was the gavel was about to get slammed down on the table. People were going to be going to jail. Mm-hmm. And all it took was one phone call, One phone call from a very powerful individual, and the whole thing went away. And they were able to avoid prosecution, and to this day, they're still allowed to operate at some level, which is it's
yes,
crazy. It's crazy how that works. But let's focus on what people can do instead of why they shouldn't just follow common advice. And a big thing is, as active as possible, stay moving as much as possible. And that's one of the things that the kind of chiropractic that we do, I do at my office, does not, is able to produce for a person without any of that scary twisting or cracking. Like I said, that keeps most people away from chiropractors, especially seniors.
Yes,
especially you don't necessarily want to crank or jump on or yank on someone's neck.
No, because as you have said, as you get older, your body has a tendency to break down. It's not as strong as it used to be,
or flexible.
And I use this walker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I also want to talk about another thing that we focus on, which is posture. We call it alignment, but posture is critically important. I know I've coached you on how to stand and sit and use the walker and all of that stuff.
Yes. Well,
so we focus on that.
But the other thing too is I see so many people, men and women, walking around with walkers, and they're like this.
Mm-hmm.
Their body is in a half circle.
Yeah.
And everybody I see who I can feel like I can talk to, and I've done that for ever since I've been using this, is pull those handlebars up, stand up straight, because otherwise you keep walking in a half circle, it's going to stay that way, and you won't be able to stand up straight. That's why I have this walker that I can stand up straight because I've pulled the handlebars up. And so many people don't understand that they are movable. Yeah. You can move them up and down.
Plus, every little bit helps. And the more you can stay straight, the less strain on everything.
Everything. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And they have the walkers now that are more upright. You can hold them, with your hands close to your face, that far up, which enables you to stand up straight.
Yeah, it's better. It's definitely, the alignment, balance, and coordination are critical. These are things that we start to see issues with as we all get older, and focusing on trying to keep those things as good as possible for as long as possible goes a long way to your overall health, avoiding side effects from multiple medications. I lived it firsthand, and I've practiced it for 32 years, helping seniors. And, if I find a better way to take care of my patients, I'll be doing it, because I have evolved even since you've known me, which is going on 20 years now.
It's pretty close to it.
We've the type of treatment that we do in our office has changed quite a bit.
Yes,
and it keeps refining and refining and refining to what will demonstrate after the break a little bit of how gentle and precise the treatment actually is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we need to take a break.
You got it. Yes. You're listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS 98.1 AM 1220, your hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And I'm going to turn it over to Tom.
All right.
Yes.
So, speaking of the Senior Hour and KHTS, I was so lucky that one of the first people that I met here in Santa Clarita, literally, was Carl Goldman. We saw him at some I think a chamber event, and he said he had this thing. It looked like KHTS Izzy, and I was like, "What is Izzy?" And he was like, "No, it's supposed to be 1220." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, so you're in radio," and then that's just sparked a conversation that pretty much has never ended in almost 25 years now, because the radio station had just started.
Went back on the air.
Yeah, just went back on the air. And in the studio right now, we have Carl's wife and partner, Jeri Seratti-Goldman, who has been a pillar of this community for longer than I've been here, and gives us the opportunity to get this information. In the first segment, we talked a little bit about you're probably not going to hear this kind of stuff anywhere else. And there's, reasons for that. I am not selling a drug here that will make millions, if not billions of dollars for somebody. So that doesn't buy a whole lot of airtime. So you have to find platforms where you can talk about anything other than that. And that's not easy. And I'm sure there are plenty of sacrifices that go on that we'll never know about in order to make that happen. So I just want to say that I appreciate what you do here at KHTS.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So one of the benefits of our relationship is that I've had the opportunity to also care for you and Carl over the years and see you through some stuff. Some challenging times. So whatever you are willing to talk about, I'd love to explore that.
Well, it started 20 plus years ago, and I was actually seeing a chiropractor. I was driving out to Camarillo every week because I found someone that did upper cervical adjustments. And as I say, my neck goes out from a car accident many, many years ago. And when I can't get it back in, only a chiropractor can. And this guy was able to do it. And Carl came home and said, "You're not going to believe this." Signed me up. And I think I've seen you at least every week since then for 20 plus years. And because of the vitamins that I take with you, the hormones over the years, when Carl was stuck on the Diamond Princess and we were trying to figure out why was he going numb by the second from the knee down in his hands, you were over at our house helping and assisting. So you've been an angel in our lives.
Oh, thank you. Well,
and also,
yeah,
get on a little bit of a tangent. When we were involved with COVID and before anyone else was in this country, I had not gotten it after being on the ship and all this stuff. And many people throughout Europe and then here local in Washington, Oregon had wanted my blood to test it. They were trying to figure out why. The time they were saying, "Oh, positive," wasn't getting it as easy, but then it was your immune system obviously is doing something, the T cells. So it was part of the vitamin regimen and the melatonin that I take from you to sleep at night, the mushrooms before anyone was taking mushrooms for health. Tom had me on mushrooms that built up my immunity, and I never got it. And thank goodness, because, the care that Carl's needed the last few years in the radio station, I need to be here.
Yeah. So not too much stress. Doing two jobs, at least two jobs. You now essentially are doing most of Carl's work on top of everything that you used to do.
Yes.
During one of the most challenging times in modern history.
Right.
For everybody, regardless of your political beliefs, regardless of your religious beliefs. This has been a grinder for the past couple of years, and small businesses, which are the life and blood of KHTS, are definitely challenged in ways that I don't think they ever have been.
Absolutely.
Well, taking care of a spouse it's really hard on you.
Well, and
And I know that.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had long-term care insurance, which Russ did not know because he said, no, we don't need that stuff.
Right.
And I got it anyway.
Right.
But it ended up paying 2/3 of the bill every month. But I had to get home care for him because I couldn't take care of him.
Yeah.
I needed to sleep at night, and he would sleep during the day and be awake at night, which was the opposite from me.
Right.
So,
and I had Tom to go to a couple times a week. I think.
Well, so did she.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It made a huge difference because during all of this, you got in a bad jaws of life car accident
Right.
that, certainly didn't help either you or Russ. And while you came in on a regular basis and got much better, I don't think Russ ever did.
No, he didn't want anything to do with chiropractic.
No, I don't think he ever got better from that car accident. It was pretty much a pretty slick downward slide ever since that.
It was.
Yeah. So I'd like to get back to the type of care we do. That, as you mentioned, we do more, both of you have mentioned, we do more than what most people see on any form of media when they hear the word chiropractic, which neither of you were interested in when you contacted me. And our care has continued to evolve I've been doing this over 30 years. And I make a big change at least every couple of years. So it's gone through a lot of evolution. Now, the latest thing is this little thing. It's about the size of a lipstick. Mm-hmm. And we were playing with it during the break. I just want the audience to hear this. It's crazy. So...
yeah, it vibrates.
Yeah. The whole panel is shaking.
Yes, it is.
And that's coming from this little thing. So this is what I believe, where I believe the future of chiropractic, if chiropractic even has a future, is going. I know the sensationalism of these big theatrical manipulations online. However, I get the people who spend a lot of money to do that and don't have any kind of lasting relief from it. And then we use something like this, and you'll see in a minute on Jeri here what it can do without any of that drama. So it's not a big sales presentation. It's not that overly theatrical, but the real benefit is the end product, which is healthy as long as you can be, given the kind of stresses that we all face.
Well, and for an example, this past Christmas, you had the what's the...
Yeah, we got that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this
is a little more... some people have probably seen this, but even this, some people like Barb doesn't like this thing.
No, it's too hard on me.
Yeah,
and
this is too much.
On me all the time. But there was the electric one that we got from you that if there's little things with muscle pain, I can work out on my own, but I still can't work on my neck with that. And the other thing that's been huge for us is the red light.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't take Advil. I don't take Advil. If I have a headache or my back is sore from a workout or whatever, I'm just on my red light, and that takes care of it.
Yes, it does.
1 half-hour session, and I'm done, and I'm good. And Tylenol is not great. Advil certainly is. Yeah. My dad got kidney failure from taking Advil every night to sleep. So Advil's not even in my house. So that's been a huge gift.
Awesome.
I use your, what do you call it? Sleep?
Okay, so that's in my product line.
Yes.
Sure.
Sleep.
Yeah,
Yes.
Barb's talking about some of the supplements
Yes.
that we have for our patients. But Jeri was talking about a red light. You know, you can see this stuff online. Some are better than others. And I did some research, and we're certainly not the cheapest option out there, but a lot of the stuff just isn't what it says it is. A lot of it is just like Christmas lights.
Well, and you get a bonus because I tinted over my face for wrinkles.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this wavelength, it
because
also
I use it on my feet when I have about
neuropathy.
Yep. I put it on my feet and
Tint it.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it definitely improves the health of
some
skin.
of these ugly wrinkles.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, you get wrinkles.
So there's more to it. There's more to it than the twisting and cracking that you see in those ridiculous videos. Yes.
Oh, no. I won't go there.
So, but I want to demonstrate on Jeri,
Please.
if you will. So, I've been working with you for 25 years, and we have a shorthand that we get to, a very streamlined process, because you don't have time. You don't have half an hour to wait in a waiting room for whatever, anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes of treatment. I get you in and out of my office in less than 5 minutes in most cases,
which I very much appreciate.
Exactly, because who's got time for it? I don't, and I hate when I wait anywhere. Right. I don't go to Disneyland anymore because I can't stand the lines. So we have a streamlined process. However, if I just jump to what your normal visit looks like, people are going to be like, what the heck is that?
Right.
So I'm going to demonstrate a pre and post evaluation that will show what this actually can accomplish, because it's going to look like I'm just touching you. And then all of a sudden you're going to say, oh, it feels so much better. And people will think that's staged, like that can't be real. There's nothing to it. But if we have something that maybe is a little bit more familiar, like a range of motion, like, oh, I can't turn my head past here, and then we do something and you can, that's a little bit more tangible. People can see that and can relate to that. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, so we got to do this quick. So, all right, let me just really quick turn to face me. So first, I'm just going to see which area needs some help. So tilt your head as far as you can this way. All right, not too bad. Tilt your head as far as you can this way. A little more restricted going to the right than to the left. Now straighten up and turn your head as far as you can this way. And turn your head as far as you can this way. And a little restricted turning to the left. So tilting to the right, turning to the left, not so great.
Up is difficult.
And up is the worst.
Yes.
So there's definitely some restriction and some pain involved. We're going to go after it very quickly and see what happens.
Yay.
So, can I have you tilt your head back and back to neutral? Tilt your head back and back to neutral. Tilt your head back, not down, just back and to straight ahead. Back and 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 straight ahead. Now turn towards me, your face towards me, and away. Away as far as you can. That's it. Towards me and away. Towards me and away. Okay. Now tilt back as far as you can.
Wow.
A little bit better.
A lot better.
A little bit better. Now, turn your head as far as you can that way? Turn your head as far as you can this
what
way?
What a difference.
Yeah.
Can you do the others?
I can, but when we come back from our break, you're listening to Senior Hour, KHTS 98.1 AM, 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS. And we have our guest, Jeri Seratti-Goldman, co-owner of KHTS.
Hi.
And you've just had some treatment.
An amazing treatment, because I have challenges, which is one of the reasons I see Tom looking up. But boy, that cleared it right up.
Okay, so
and looking sideways too.
We got cut short.
Difference.
Yeah, we got cut short a little bit, so I only gave you half a treatment, and it only lasted about a minute. But in that minute, we did some stuff that just doesn't happen everywhere, right?
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
And that's why
It's
I demonstrated the range of motion, because, physical therapists can take 2 months to get that kind of a change in a person. And I can, with this process, do it in a couple of minutes. Yeah. So we only got halfway done. I want to try to get the other half done and see what else we can open up for you there. And then, close out the show, because we're running out of time here. So
where's the time gone?
Once again, we're going to demonstrate. We've dramatically, for those of you who haven't seen it, you can see it at hometownstation.com, and our Facebook feed reposts it. KHTS, yes?
KHTS Radio.
KHTS Radio. But I'm going to take care of the other side of Jeri's neck to help her deal with the incredible amount of stress of running this radio station. And can I have you turn a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now, can I have you turn towards the engineer, please? The panel, back, and again, and again, and again, and again. And again, and again. Okay, and now look straight ahead. And now tilt back. Again.
Good heavens. That's amazing.
Okay.
Whoa.
What do you think?
Good God, look at the difference.
This is what I think. Wow. My head's, yeah.
So what was that? What was that? I think that was like 2 minutes. Yeah, something
the only
like that.
time I can do that is when I've seen you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what a difference.
Yep.
And do you think it might be valuable if I could show you how to do this for yourself, and you'd never have to walk into a doctor's office to get this done?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're working on it.
I'm a little spoiled. I still want to come see you, even if it's only 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But
Right.
yes.
But with your schedule, with your demands, imagine you didn't have to spend the 10 minutes it takes to get there, the 10 minutes it takes to get back. And to be able to do this anywhere, anytime. And here's the thing.
It's just like the red light therapy.
Exactly. Here's the thing. As much as I appreciate you being a patient, I would much rather have you be able to treat yourself and not need to come see me ever.
Right.
How cool would that be? I mean, this is, I know it sounds crazy, like, oh, I don't want patients. Of course I want patients, but I became the kind of doctor that I am because I got better. And if I can show people how to get better without ever having to do anything that they might not want to do, like go to a chiropractor and really get better and have that treatment that they can treat themselves whenever they need it, at any time, at any place. This can go through an airline. I had it, you have to take it out of your pocket because they do that thing to you, but they don't even think that this is anything. You can have this anywhere. I mean, it can easily go. People won't even see it. It's made to be discreet. It's about the size of a lipstick, and I can show you how to use it to take care of your problems.
So is red light, would this replace the red light?
It won't. It's completely different. That's a whole nother show. So it's coming. It's coming. Virtual chiropractic is real. It's and we're going to make it happen, and it's going to start here. You saw it here.
Yeah. Next time I'll come on, you guys can teach me how to do it myself.
There you go. No, I have to sell that. So I'm not going to show everybody how to do it for free, but I appreciate it. So you've been listening to the Senior Hour. We're sponsored by Comfort Keepers, Providence Holy Cross, and IMAC Medical Spa. It's KHTS 98.1 AM 1220 hometownstation.com. Now go out and enhance your quality of life.